Good morning, my beautiful karmic psychics. How are you all? I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I hope that Mercury retrograde and Mars retrograde were not giving you so much of a hard time last week. And I hope that things are calming down, and I'm sure they will when we look at the transits this week for the 16th of January to the 22nd of January. So what I would like to start off with today is just to let you know that a very important transit has taken place or will be taking place by tomorrow on the 17th of January, when Saturn moves into Aquarius after a very long time. Saturn has been in Capricorn since 2020 January, and it is finally going to, without being in any retrogrades, move straight into Saturn in Aquarius tomorrow until 29th of March 2025. This episode is going to be all about the impacts on your ascendants, not on your moon signs, not on your sun signs, but on your ascendants. Now, if you're not sure about your ascendants, karmic psychics, then book an appointment with me and I will do your chart, and I will clearly state what is your moon sign, what is your ascendant, what is your sun sign. Now, the thing is, with the discussion today, it is very important to understand that the ascendant is what we will, or what you should listen to the reading from, purely because the ascendant is actually discussing the actual transit that is taking place, and that what will be activated in your chart based on that actual fact of that transit moving. For example, if you are, for instance, if you are a Gemini ascendant, then Saturn will be transiting into your 9th house. So it is important to see this from your ascendant perspective only. Now, for those who want to see it from their moon sign, as you know, in Vedic astrology, we read it from your moon sign or your ascendant. Moon sign, you're only it's going to be more about your personal view of that transit occurring. It's an emotional view, but it's not actually the actual transit impact. So please, it's up to you. You can listen to it both from your moon sign and ascendant, but I would advise you to listen to it purely from your ascendant. So going into this week's planets, before I discuss the Saturn transit impacting all of your ascendants from Aries to Pisces. Now, Mercury will go direct by Wednesday this week, Wednesday, Thursday this week, 18th, 19th of January. And Mars has already gone direct and is still in Rohini Nakshatra in Taurus, moving into Gemini again. And it has started moving forward from the 12th of January. Rahu and Ketu are still until 20th of February, will be in the Bharani and Swati nakshatras respectively. Venus is in Taurus, is in Capricorn, I beg your pardon, is in Capricorn, and it will be here until approximately the 27th of January in Dhanishta nakshatra. It's moved from tomorrow, it moves out of Capricorn Shravana nakshatra into Capricorn Dhanishta nakshatra. Now, I hope you all had a wonderful Makar Sankranti on Saturday last week, and I wish you all a very happy Makar Sankranti to those who celebrate it, and work success and prosperity and abundance to come to you all, as Sun moving into Capricorn signifies business success, prosperity, and a day to be celebrated, good food to be eaten, especially rice and yogurt, and success to all of my karmic psychics for the year ahead. Now, again, just a quick overview. Saturn is now direct in Aquarius, at present in the Nishta Nakshatra, and the Saturn in Aquarius will be here until the 29th of March 2025, and then it will eventually move into Pisces. Now, what is important is just to quickly give you a quick overview on this, is that Saturn was in Capricorn since 2020 January, and Saturn is the house, signifies that is the house of karma, patience, rules, and practical duties. Now, as Saturn has moved into the 11th house, by default, this is the house of gains. This is the house of social networking, your older brother, innovations, the new age, collaborations, global changes, society, compassion. And as Saturn moves tomorrow into Aquarius, I feel that it will impact all of you based on your ascendant. And that is what I will be covering today, that where the house, which house will your Saturn move to based on your ascendant, and which other houses it will impact or aspect, and those houses are the ones which over the next 2 years will be activated. So therefore, those are the houses where you will have to face perhaps some duty, some improvement, use your kind heart and innovation to improve those sides of the chart, those aspects. For example, you will see as we continue with this reading. So let's not waste any more time. Aries so with Aries, the transit of Saturn will be moving into your 11th house. And the aspects that will be affected will be your first house, which is about you, the 5th house, which is about higher authority, father's health, education, courses, and the 8th house of debts, house of transformation. So for Aries ascendant, I feel that with the Saturn in the 11th house, firstly, it will be aspecting the 5th house, 8th and 1st house. So father's health, let me start off with father's health, or efforts to made with seniors or with your courses, with your teachers. This will be a time when you will work very hard. The 8th house is to do with your debts, your expenses, overspending, indulging, pleasures. And this is a time to refrain from getting out of control. The 1st house is to do with oneself. Oneself, you are going to make a huge transformation, perhaps in your chosen career, in your health. You may decide to be completely dedicated to losing weight, and you will change radically your diet overnight and stick to it. You will be so committed in this energy, something which you have never been like ever before. So Saturn in your 11th house is activating your 1st, 5th and 8th house. Now, Saturn in the 11th house is to do with foreign travels, foreign gains, foreign friends, international connections. So if it is to do with your work, you will really excel in foreign connections with this transit over the next 2 years and a bit. I also feel that you may also, instead of going away on a social to go abroad and have a good time, your mindset will be you are going abroad because of your work. So you can bring in wealth from overseas in this transit. You will also make a great name for yourself with your seniors. They will be very impressed with you. Notice your hard work, your dedication. Now for all star signs, obviously it is also dependent on your Mahadasha and Antaradashas that will give the complete prediction. So if you want to know more about your ascendants and your Mahadashas and Antaradashas that can affect the Saturn transit, please do use my website to contact me, www.karmicpsychic.co.uk, to have your chart made, a personalized chart, and you can ask 3 questions as well, and you put that all on the form which is on my website, and I will take it from there. Now, one thing I will say to Aries regarding your health, that even though you may go on a radical diet or change your diet completely, go on a complete detox, It's very important that you keep your health sustained, the vitamins, the iron. So do take your multivitamins, do keep up with the minerals that you don't want to be lacking in your diet, okay, during this transit. I will also request that don't do very radical diets that could have an extreme adverse effect on your health. Your lower back, your stomach, your lower part of your body is an area to be careful of through this transit. But so get all the information and the green light from the doctor that the diet you're doing is healthy for you, there's no side effects, and then continue. Okay, so please do not be overconfident, but be confident indeed. So as this transit is here, one thing I will say to Aries, the quote for you in this transit is, I will succeed without a doubt. I will succeed without a doubt. Moving on to Taurus. So Taurus, Saturn is going to be in your 10th house, the house of Dharma, the house of work, dedication to your career. And for Taurus, your career life will be extremely hardworking and improved as you reach 2025. The other houses which are activated or aspected for Taurus ascendant is the 4th house, house of mother, house of the home. Be careful with mother's health. Look after your own health. Look after your finances. The 7th house of relationships and partners. Look after your partner's health. Any business collaborations, make sure that everything is written clearly in a contract and that everything regarding your financial situation in the business or land or property buying, selling is stated clearly, that everyone has an equal share. And the 12th house is activated, which is to do with isolation, working in isolation. It is also to do with traveling abroad. It is also to do with activating your spiritual side from yoga, meditation, traveling to retreats. So Taurus ascendant, you may well also benefit in this period, not just from, having a good balance. You may even want to buy or sell a property abroad. This is also a good time for students who are applying for visas to go abroad. This is a good time for those who want to study abroad. So for Taurus ascendants with this aspect of study, travel or work abroad, this is a good transit for you. For you, the quote for this year, I will say is, my health is my priority. Your health is your priority this year, Taurus, and until 2025. For those who have mums, be careful with their health. For those who don't have mums, then please be careful with the members in the home. Be careful of their health. Be careful of your partner's health. You may feel that in these next 2 years that you will have to put a lot of emphasis on the duties of the home and work life. So the burdens, all the responsibilities are rested on you. You may also have to give more of your finances towards the house contributions, or and this again, be careful with your expenses in those ways then. So be careful with your expenses, Taurus ascendants, because of that. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Gemini, this is a very wonderful transit for you. Saturn is in your 9th house. This is a very good time when you will get good respect or get very much appreciated by your seniors, your gurus, your teachers. As Saturn is in your 9th house, you will work very hard on your new courses. You will learn new courses. You will dedicate yourself to transforming yourself, maybe getting more career advances, degrees. This is a very good time for you in that respect. Your third house, house of siblings, is activated. So any siblings that you are not speaking to from, let's say, 2020, this is a time when your communication with them will get better and improve, but you will have to make the effort. You will have to be very neutral with other siblings, with all your siblings in this time, and not take sides over one over the other. At the end of the day, there's always two sides to a story, Gemini ascendant. So even with your personal relationships, always remember there's two sides to a story. So not to be convinced and stick to your story or other stories. Be neutral. Okay, the whole idea is that people get to talk together, talk to each other again. So Gemini ascendants, this is a very big time for you. Even some people that are very close to you that suddenly perhaps stopped talking to you in 2020, even they will now start re-entering your life with Saturn in the 9th house. You will also have a very different energy about you with the 3rd, 6th and 11th house aspected and activated in this time. Your work life is going to be very, very good. You're going to work very hard on your career. You will have sudden opportunities, unexpected growth, sudden opportunities just coming towards you, unexpected luck regarding your career. So I'm very excited to see that your 3rd, 6th and 11th house is activated. Now the 11th house is activated as well. So this means that, again, foreign connections, courses which may be holistic related, you may decide to do. You may go into law, go into customer services, may be there for the public, government roles, Geminis. There's a lot of scope for meeting people and, inspiring them and healing them and taking care of them. There's also an element of you growing in your career, like I said previously. So I see a huge development in these next 2 years for you, Gemini ascendant. And for you, your quote for these 2 years of Saturn is, I can achieve the impossible. Please be careful with your nervous system, be careful with your lower back, and also please try to get a good sleep in this transit. You may wake up suddenly in the middle of the night. You may not be able to go back to sleep again. I would request that you're constantly hydrated, drink plenty of water, and get better sleep in this transit. Moving on to Cancer. So Cancer, the transit for you is in your 8th house. Saturn is in your 8th house and it will transit here. So 8th house is to do with loans, debts, taking on loans, trying to help you enjoy a good life by you taking out a loan, but make sure you keep up with the repayments. This is also a time when your in-laws, because the 8th house is to do with in-laws as well. For those who have in-laws, that this is a time when you will have to work extra hard with them, making sure there's no misunderstandings or any falling out in this period. Your 2nd house, 5th house and 10th house are activated. So the 2nd house is your speech, your food intake, your dietary requirements to stay healthy. You may have to be very, even medication. You'll have to be very careful in this transit that you don't be neglecting your health. You also have to be very mindful with your speech, not to be very harsh. Be mindful how you speak to others. You're beginning to understand that people are very sensitive and you need to be careful and not blurt things out. Insensitivity is something that you have to be careful of in this transit. Now the 5th house is to do with land and property, buying things, luxury items, authority, father's health. Be careful of not getting on the wrong side of the authority bodies. Be careful of not overspending. Make sure that you keep up with the payments. Your career, you're going to expand on your career, work extra hard on your career, but understand that you must also be careful with your expenses. There's no point working very hard and then spending all that money on luxury items thinking that tomorrow a good day will come again and I'll be saved. I think what I want to say to you, your quote for this year should be, I will save my money and I will balance my good life and my work life. This should be your quote for these 2 years of Saturn. I will also suggest that the home life, you may be planning to buy or sell in this time, and you will get perhaps a good financial advisor who will be able to advise you how to buy property or move, and to keep your expenses down, because I feel that you will have to be very realistic about this all. There's no point trying to buy a house for over, let's say, 2 million if your earning power is less, and then wanting to take such a huge risk. So this is the time when you will think about all these factors, and your work life. I feel that you can expand if you were to put in more effort in these 2 years. Be careful with loans. Make sure you can pay them. All right, moving on to Leo. Now, Leo, Saturn will be transiting your seventh house and aspecting your first house, your fourth house, and your ninth house. So for you, Leos, this is a good time for perhaps relationships, working hard on relationships, personal relationships, business relationships. This is also a time when mother's health will be under the radar. You have to be careful. Father's health will be under the radar. But I will also say to you that this is a time when you also may take on new courses, get higher learning, learn new things in order to be more successful in your career. I see you advancing a lot in technology, Leos. You have an opportunity to grow more in your business. Take off the responsibility of yourself and put it in technology to advance. I feel like those who are selling online will do very well this year. I feel that those who are in buying and selling property, this is a good time also to reap the rewards of your business. The ninth house aspected, I said about father's health and mother's health, because fourth house is aspected, Leos. So mother and father's health is very, very, very sensitive in these next 2.5 years. So please do be mindful of that. When it comes to your own self, there is an opportunity of getting married. Leo ascendants between now and 2025, or suddenly the person that's destined for you suddenly coming into your life in this transit. So please look at this as a very exciting time, and learn to keep your emotions, calm in this period. Now, for you, your quote will be, Leos, that I am aware not everyone is as sensitive as me. I'm not sensitive enough. I must consider the opinions of others before I speak. Leos, this is important. Be careful with your driving in this transit. And please be careful with misplacing important documents in this transit, Leos. Moving on to Virgo. So Virgo, the transit will be in your 6th house of career. This is a time of change. You're going to step back and go into perhaps another career, or move from where you are working now. Saturn in your 6th house is aspecting your 3rd house, house of siblings. Avoid disputes with siblings. Your 12th house, house of travel, spiritual awakening. And the 8th house, the 8th house of transformation and debts. Virgos, you'll have to be also very careful of debts, making sure that whatever work that you decide to do, that you're earning enough to pay off your debts. You also have to be careful with your health in this transit. Eat properly, eat well, make sure that you don't eat things that you know can affect you. This is the time to put effort into looking after yourself, Virgos. You're not taking care enough of yourself. The third house is to do with siblings. So this is a time in the next 2 years where you have to make sure that you don't fall out with siblings, or they don't blame you for things that are not your fault. This is a time when clarity is required. 12th house, spiritual travels, spiritual awareness. Again, for students who have applied for abroad, or people who are working or wanting to work abroad, this is a good time for you in this transit. Those who are learning, who are studying and working at the same time with this Virgo ascendant energy, you will be doing that. I will also say to you that this is a time for the next 2 years where, Virgos, you be careful with your expenses, finances. This is a time to look at your expenses, how you are spending, and are you spending on yourself? Why are you not saving enough? Is the money being spent by others in your family that you have blindly ignored? What is this transit about? It's about an awakening for you regarding your finances. Is there money coming to you from foreign lands? Is there any savings or land or property? Clarity is needed in this 2.5 years. So yes, things that are owing to you, career changes. Is it worth risking a career change? You will go through all of this, and your siblings may need you, and you may be putting in a lot of effort into your siblings right now. But remember, this is about you this year and about your health. Okay? Now, what your quote should be for the next 2 years is, I shall look after my health. Okay, moving on to Libra. So Libra, Saturn will transit into your 5th house, and the house of authority, government, education, father. And the houses which will be aspected are the 2nd house, the 7th house, and the 11th house. So for Librans, this is a time when you will have to be careful with your speech, with your eating. That you will have to be careful with your finances, the money coming in, coming out. Understanding that you will also, this is a good time, you may even want to invest in another property or go into a business with another person. This is a time when these opportunities can come up. And also working with a number of people from foreign lands, or trying to expand your business from here, let's say anywhere where you live, and moving it abroad. Libran ascendants, this is a very good time for those who are in IT, in the banking world, in the health, holistic world. You can do very well with this transit. Absolutely wonderful. I would request from you also to be careful with your eating, your stomach, your lower intestine. The stomach is highlighted as an area of that you must be careful with. Now with the 5th house, with Saturn moving into the 5th house, the transit of Saturn into your 5th house, this is very much about routine, structure, work. You may take on more responsibility, even of your father's health. There's a lot of routine and strict routines that you'll be sticking to. Even if it is to do with government tax, you will be writing the receipts, you will be writing the invoices and receiving invoices and keeping a record of everything. So Librans, I see you doing a lot of paperwork and making sure that everything is shown clearly. This is also a time when you may open up a few more saving accounts for your children or for yourself. You'll be more cautious, or taking more time to look after your finances, money coming in, and you'll be very conscious of what you're spending your money on. Libra ascendants, this is very good for relationships as well. This is a time for transparency about commitment. If someone hasn't committed to you over the last 3-4 years and you feel that you want more, you want to have children, this is a time for marriage. And if it's not going to happen, then this is the time to clear this up. Your quote for these next 2 years should be that I deserve the best and I will receive the best. Good luck. Moving on to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Saturn is transiting into your 4th house where property, buying, selling is indicated. Your 1st house, your 6th house and 10th house is also activated or aspected, should I say. So for the 1st house, this is about your look, your transformation, your beauty, your diet, your physical activities. It's about you, and even about your profession, how you present yourself to the world. Scorpios, you know that you're very conscious people, very sensitive. So you'll be very, very much determined to create a new image in front of society this year. You will also, I feel, go on radical diets that give you radical changes to your body. I also feel that lots of you may dabble in some beauty treatments that could, or surgery, or go under the knife, because you're yearning to be different under this transit. The 4th house, Saturn transit. In the 4th house, Saturn is sitting here. So home life, finances, you're going to be very, very focused on your career and your home life, and making sure that your finances, that you are wanting to save your money. But there is a sense that the work that you do, because you'll do great work this year, lots of seniors are also going to be impressed by you. Sudden opportunities are going to fall on your lap. Your 6th house and 10th house are also activated, and your 1st house. So Scorpios, you're going to have to work very hard to pay attention to your family life as well, because your work life is going to take off in a very good way. So mother's health, or someone that you treat like a mother, you will have to be careful of their health, their emotions, treat them with respect. They could be going through a very isolated time, so your support will be needed on them. Scorpio ascendants, this is such a wonderful time for you regarding your career and buying, selling of property. I do feel that you can perhaps even move in this transit up to 2025, which will bring you lots of satisfaction finally. Okay, so your quote for this year should be that I can do the impossible too, because you certainly can, and keep up with this mindset. But be careful with your indulgence and expenses. Keep up with buying nice things as long as you can clear your debts. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Saturn is transiting into your 3rd house, and this is certainly a house of making lots of effort in this time with your networking, making sure that everyone is not misunderstanding you. You will feel that you will need to socially, that you present yourself in a way where you don't offend anyone. Your 5th house is activated or aspected. Your 9th house is aspected, and your 12th house is aspected. Sagittarians, it's the good news for you is that you will be ending your Sarsati in this transit now from tomorrow. It will bring you huge relief. But for Saturn ascendants, I will still say that you may have to still bear a slight effect of Sarsati, because it's your ascendant and not based on your moon sign. As we know about Sarsati is a 7.5-year cycle when Saturn goes over the moon, but it starts off from the 12th, 1st and 2nd house, how it transits. So it starts moving from the 12th the first and second house, Saturn moves over your moon, and that is what we call Sasati. Now, as Sasati starts, it can affect your whole decision process and results, consequences over that Sasati time, which is 7.5 years. For Sagittarian ascendants, this is a great time for you to work on yourself. This is a great time for you to spend more time on your healing, your yoga, your diet, staying grounded, and trying to find spiritual quests. This is a time of spirituality, lots of traveling abroad or even where you live, but to religious places, sitting at home, meditating, doing yoga, eating very simple, basic foods. You will suddenly just become very simple and basic. You will have to take care of your hair, your teeth, your feet, oils, creams, smells, anything to enhance your spiritual blocks, increase, or should I say, release your chakra blocks. Sagittarians are going to become extremely sensitive about their body, what suits them and what doesn't. This is a time when you will really take care of yourself, and you rightly so. You must always take care of yourself so that you can bring out the best of yourself. Now, with Saturn in the third house, is to do with siblings, communication, travel. This is a time when your work can take you on lots of short travels. This is a time when you will meet new people who will bring good knowledge into your life, become a good guide for you, become a good teacher for you. This is a time when you may also become more holistic. Even in a professional setting, you may be becoming more aware of the spiritual side of things. Sagittarians, this is a good time to look at buying and selling. For some of you, you may move home. You will also perhaps get financial help from parents in order for this to happen. In this transit, I see that a move is very much possible for you. Keep your relationship with your friends, your siblings, with your work people. Keep it simple, keep it basic. Don't give your personal opinions if you know it's going to offend people. Now, we know Sagittarians, whether it's your ascendant, your moon sign, or your sun sign, that you are very direct. But this is a time to be a little bit more sensitive to others, okay, in this period. You're definitely going to transform even yourself. Be passionate about your clothes, your spending, your eating out. But this is also a time when simplicity serves you best, and you know that. So re-energize, spend in moderation. There is a big chance of a move happening for you now, even a marriage for some Sagittarians, I must say. This is a time when authorities will be senior authorities in your workplace. You will find a place to work where they will be very happy with you. You will advance, and you will get lots of respect from the family. It's a good time for you. Your quote for this transit is, patience is a virtue. That is your quote. Patience is a virtue. And you will definitely be celebrating lots of mini miracles in the next 2 years. Okay, moving over to Capricorn. So Capricorns, here I can see that the Saturn transit is in your second house. Capricorn ascendants, the houses which are aspected, therefore, is the 4th, 8th, and 11th house. So here again, mother's health, home life is indicated. Spending, expenses is highlighted. Mother's health is highlighted. Foreign gains coming to you, maybe through buying, selling of property. reducing your loans or trying to reduce your loans. However, there is debts here as well, which is why you may be buying or selling to reduce your loans. I will say to you in this transit of Saturn in your second house that family life, you will work very hard on your family life. You may feel very tired all the time, exhausted with Saturn in the second house. You will be very much focused on your children, your finances, your work, but you need a balance. Capricorn ascendants, you need a balance. This year is about your buying, selling of property to reduce loans. It's about your diet. It's about your speaking calmly. It's about the women in the home, making sure that they are well. There's a sense of a lot of responsibility on you, but this is a time when you must also take care of yourself. Be careful with your stomach and your heart area, your chest area. Make sure that you are meditating. I feel with the 11th house aspected, the good thing is you may be suddenly very, very interested in going away on retreats. There can also be, with the 11th house aspected, financial gains coming to you through buying and selling of property. The 8th house means you're going through a huge transformation. Huge transformation now. It shows that your home life, you're going to change the way that you live. For example, if you used to drink a lot, sleep very late, suddenly you're going to sleep very early, you're going to become a vegetarian. These kind of things can happen suddenly. Transformation also is that if you were spending lots, you're going to start taking more care of your expenses, that they don't get out of control. Also, things that are bothering you, this is a time to learn in this transit to speak up about things that do bother you and avoid going into depression. You mustn't be afraid to speak up, Capricorn ascendants, in this period. Financial gains will come through buying and selling of property. The second house transit means that you must be careful. You will have more law and order in the home. You may work from home. You may work from home and work outside. You will have more routine and structure. You may do things to the home to make it better for you, for your own betterment, own wellness. Foreign gains, retreats, holidays will be a big part. You may also learn some more courses which will be helping the people. New Age courses you may go into. You can benefit from that as well. So Capricorn ascendants, this is a time of patience, hard work, calmness, and eating the right things, reducing your loans, and mother's health. Look after your stomach, look after your heart. Your motto or quote for the next 2 years should be, if I take care of me, I can take care of others. Okay, moving over to Aquarius. So Aquarius, the transit of Saturn is in your own Lagna. So this is a good time as the Lagna Lord is returning back to you. This is a time when you will go through a huge transformation. Now, Aquarius ascendants, this is the second phase of your Sasati as Saturn moved from the 10th house to the 11th house. So you will have to be very careful of your expenses in this period, I must say. Just quickly to mention that Capricorn ascendants, you will be in your first phase of your Sasati. So for Aquarius ascendants, you will be in your second phase of your Sasati. So you really have to be careful with your health, with your expenses, with your business deals. At the same time, I feel that new business opportunities are coming your way. I feel that you're going to dabble in new business opportunities, take risks. Again, I will warn you that make sure whoever you do business with, that you know a little bit more about them. And if there's any hidden clause in contracts, this is a time to find out all that information. Otherwise, you will be constantly spending on making a business happen, materialize, and realize later that maybe I'm risking a bit too much of my finances. So you really need to be sure and careful. So as Saturn is in its own lagna, the houses which are being aspected are the third house, which is the house of communication, short travel, siblings, the seventh house of relationships, business partnerships, and the 10th house of career. So here, siblings, relationships, business partnerships, and career are all highlighted until 2025. This is a time for you to keep a balance between your work life, your personal life, your health. Now, for you, the quote for these 2 years is, "My health is my wealth." Despite how much you thrive for money in this transit, I feel that it's very important, Aquarius ascendants, that you take care of your health in this transit. Your diet is very important, your lower back, your anxiety. This is also a time where your expenses should be in moderation. Networking is here. Collaborations are here. But again, any contract, there should be no hidden clause. Also, if you are risking putting big property in at risk in order to gain better revenue from other places through getting a loan this year, in these 2 years, Aquarius ascendants, you will have to be very careful not to be so risky. Be mindful that this is your Sasati still. Okay, moving on to, last but not least, moving on to Pisces ascendant. Now, Pisces ascendants, you are now entering this Sasati, but I will say to you that in this period, I would like you to be careful of your health, because you must make sure again that you must eat the right vitamins, not neglect your body of bone deficiency, be careful of iron deficiency. However, with Saturn for the 12th house, it is Saturn is transiting into your 12th house, Pisces. As it does so, the houses which are being aspected is the 2nd, 6th, and 9th house. So again, Pisces, this is a good time for you financially. This is a time when you will make some changes, perhaps to where you live. Buying, selling, and property is here. Work, you may move from work. There is a chance of that as well. Work life is going to be very good for you. There's going to be a lot of success coming to you. If you are a teacher, a healer, a counselor, an advisor of any sort, your teachers, your gurus will be very, very pleased with your progress. Those who are wanting to taking their final exams, they will get great news. Luck is on your side in this period. For those who are also applying to go abroad, this is a great time to be in for foreign travel, foreign settlement. I would say to you that yes, your expenses may be high in this transit, but it's about the people and the work life where you meet. Not to be very sensitive with the people that you work with. Just focus on your career, focus on your purpose, focus on your education. If you are studying right now, keep work balanced with your study life for those who are students. With regards to eating, this is a time when Pisceans will say, I'm going to be very, very disciplined when it comes to my food. Saturn transit in the 12th house, Pisces, means that you must be very, 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 very careful with your expenses. Yes, there is buying and selling going on also for you, a house change, a move. There could also perhaps be, for those who are trying for a baby, a time when a baby may also come into your life into your house now. Look after father's health. Be careful of misunderstandings with father. You will do better at work. I feel that you're going to try, lots of Pisces will try for 2 jobs. One at work and one outside and one maybe from home as well. This transit can bring you 2 sources of income, Pisces. Another thing to be careful of, Pisces, in this transit is to take care of your eyes. A lot of you who are having eye pain, headaches, have an eye test. It could be that you do need glasses. I do see a move for 85% of Pisces with this transit until 2025. I see marriage, I see children, I see home life being very much aspected here. Misunderstandings with father or inheritance coming from father is also a topic of conversation in this transit. Okay, so the motto or the quote for you, Pisces, these 2 years should be, I deserve love and peace. So do put yourselves and your needs up there as opposed to being a people pleaser all the time, Pisceans. Okay, so this is the analysis of Saturn transit based on your ascendants. I hope that you are going to follow perhaps some of the remedies which I'm about to suggest with Saturn's transit in Aquarius. So Saturn is quite an airy planet. Aquarius, this is a very airy planet. And Aquarius, the stone for Aquarius is a beautiful aquamarine. And I will just say that if all of you can sometimes wear aquamarine, it's a beautiful color. It's a very healing color. And as I said to you before, Saturn in the 11th house by default brings society together, global changes. What do I mean? Globally, this could be a time when suddenly we all take on a new approach, which we all do. For example, we all start buying, selling in cryptocurrency. I'm just giving an example. Or there's a new car that's been made which runs without petrol. So suddenly we all have to buy that. Or there's a fast food chain which is keto based and everyone starts eating keto, so there's going to be globally a huge improvement. There could, again, like I said, be perhaps some improvement or advancement made on cancer research and a cure developed for a very long disease which we have never found answers for. Suddenly technology innovation brings us positive light. For the individuals, this is a time of compassion because it's so much needed right now. Growth, understanding, mental awareness. This is a time in this Saturn transit when mental awareness will go up. People who suffered in silence will talk about their problems. We'll hear a lot about that. People opening up about their struggles, mental awareness, remedies, holistic places becoming huge in this transit in the next 2 years. Globally, I will say with Saturn in Aquarius, this is a time when natural disasters inevitably will happen. There could be lots of perhaps hurricanes, winds, ice, water. People in isolation cannot get help. This is something with the war with Russia and Ukraine, where people are isolated and need help and no one is there to reach out to them. But globally, with more awareness, there can be more certainty that there needs to be a positive change. People suffering, how do we find ways to resolve these things? This is a time of problems to having a solution. This is a time of solutions, innovation, compassion, understanding. Lots of hidden secrets to come out. I also feel eventually Jupiter will move into Rahu, house, the first house, where Rahu is for a couple of months. That is another episode we will discuss further. But that also with Saturn in the 11th house will have an impact on society, us all coming together in some shape or form for the betterment of perhaps even the environment. So there is going to be a huge awakening that will happen between now and 2025. So karmic psychics, I hope you've enjoyed this episode today. I really would like you to wear more blues, aquamarines, because I find it a very uplifting color, a beautiful stone, and be compassionate to your person next door. Go out of kindness to people that perhaps live next door, an elderly person who needs your help. Once in a blue moon, do a good deed, and feel better for it. Yes, the universe will keep you safe and protected. Do not have anxiety. Know that you are divinely guided at all times, and try to let go of things that no longer serve you, and look at the present moment, and look at the hope of exciting opportunities that are in front of you, karmic psychics. Love and light. Until next week. Bye-bye.